Hello, it is Thursday, March 26th, and I am just giving a quick update on, what's going on with me, as well as COVID-19 in general. Billy is still here with me on her normal perch over there. And so COVID-19, we're up to 526,000 cases. That's per John Hopkins, and the United States now has more than 82,000 cases, which places us in the number one slot in terms of cases worldwide. We are now leading the way, despite the fact that we have minimal testing available, which is that's not where we want to be. Also, after feeling better for a couple of days, I still don't feel horrible, but I noticed today that my cough was a little worse earlier. And for those that are just now tuning in, I'm a nurse practitioner. I developed some symptoms Sunday and have been isolated since that time at my parents' house. They are not here. Not going to be here for months. So I've been actively monitored because I don't meet criteria for testing. And active monitoring consists of taking my temperature twice a day and then sending my temperature and my symptoms in. And then a nurse calls me every day or two. So I had a fever and felt absolutely horrible on Monday. Had a horrible headache all day. Just felt awful. And had about 100-degree fever. And then the fever broke sometime overnight. And Tuesday and Wednesday I had no temperature. Woke up today. Yesterday my cough had all but gone. I still had a little bit of a cough. Today I noticed that I felt fine. I got up. I was doing, actually back to work, doing telehealth. Obviously not able to be in seeing patients yet, but was doing telehealth. And around noon I was like, man, I am tired. But it was my first day back up early and having to, be on the ball and so forth. And then my cough kind of became a little more frequent, but I was thinking, I'm talking more today. It's okay. I'm fine. Even took Billy on a short walk, of course, all by myself. Came back, did some more work, and about 4:30 it was time for me to take my temperature, and it's 100 degrees. So of course now I'm kind of freaked out because COVID-19, people have had it describe a scenario where they start to get better and then they get worse and then they get really, it's like a couple days of that and then they're either going to go way downhill or they get better. So I'm nervous tonight. No idea if I have COVID-19 or not. I can't get tested. No provider wants me in their office right now. So it's, managing stuff over the phone. And when you're a patient, that is not what you want. You want to see your provider and you want to know what's wrong with you. I couldn't get flu tested earlier this week either because that's really discouraged because of the swab shortage and things like that. Flu usually when it starts to get better just gets better, So couple scenarios here. Number one, I could have COVID-19. I could have had the flu and now I'm developing a secondary bacterial infection. Or maybe I've just got some bizarre inflammation today and I'll be fine tomorrow. And I hope, of course I'm hoping it's the latter, but it's kind of scary. It's worrisome. And what's really worrisome, of course, is I'm sitting here. I'm all by myself, except for Billy, who actually has been an absolute godsend. And I don't know what's going on. And I don't know if I'm going to get better. I don't know if I'm going to be one of those, people that, like, when things start to get worse and they get really worse, I also have the concern that, I was home on Sunday with my family and, I mean, I left immediately. But if this is COVID-19, my husband's at very high risk and, am I going to kill my husband? That is not ever, that's just something, you work your entire career to prevent, is bringing something home to your family that ends up really harming them. But then I think the worst part about this whole thing is just the loneliness. And I'm an introvert, so I didn't expect this, but not knowing what's going on, thinking that you could have something that maybe will get bad, and going through it alone is, it's intense, and scary. And I don't get scared real easily, to be honest with you. I mean, I tend to be a little bit of a hypochondriac, but like in terms of like really freaking out over a viral illness, no, that's not me. But again, I think it's the lonely factor. So, so yeah, my only symptoms are that dry cough. My ribs hurt a little bit of pleuritic pain with deep inspiration, but nothing horrible, I mean, it's just weird. I do not normally run a fever, and I've got one, and I just don't feel that bad, honestly. Like, if this is COVID-19, I can totally see how people just go around and spread it around, because like if I wasn't checking my temperature, I would have no idea that I had a fever. Now, Monday when I was sick with the same fever, I wouldn't have done anything on Monday. I knew I was sick. I didn't even have to check my temperature. But today, no, I mean, I would not have even thought to check my temperature if I wasn't doing the active monitoring. So anyway, so I'm trying not to go down the deep, dark rabbit hole of, I'm all alone, I'm isolated, this is going to get bad, and if I have to go to the hospital, I'll be isolated there. And then, people with COVID-19 are dying alone. It's Pedialyte. Maybe they'll pay me for this. Probably not. So anyway, that's where I'm at today. And I hate to be like dark and pessimistic. I'm telling myself that, even if it's COVID-19, more than probably 99.5% of cases survive, and I am healthy. I am in shape. I'm 41 years old, so I'm not at super high risk, so I'm probably going to be just fine. But in the meantime, this kind of sucks, like, so that's where I'm at. So anybody who could send me, definitely, I'm a prayerful person. If you believe in God, any God, if you believe in a higher power that you speak to or pray to, I certainly could use it tonight. If you don't believe in God, but you believe in, positive energy or, whatever, send that my way too. If you're atheist, you don't believe in nothing, just positive thoughts and thinking about me, I think is good for the soul. And anything that's good for the soul will help people get through this. So in the meantime, I am pushing fluids, and I'm pushing fluids only because I really don't believe in treating a low-grade fever. There's a lot of evidence that shows that we can prolong our fever or our illnesses by, Tylenol and ibuprofen just for fever alone. So I'm going to let it ride up to 101 for sure. And honestly, if I think I'm staying well hydrated, if it gets up to 102, I'll probably let it go at that point for a while. Again, I'm low risk and kind of know the symptoms to look for. in terms of dehydration and things like that. If it gets much higher than that or it stays above 101 for a prolonged period of time, I'll probably take something to help bring it down. But, you know, honestly, I'm just kind of letting it ride. And Billy and I are listening to some Pride Prejudice fan fiction. And I gave Billy Boo a bath today. And she's just... my dog is getting me through this. So anyway, guys, I am going to bed. I wish you all a good evening and a wonderful day tomorrow. And I wish all of you good health. Good night.